Okay, so today I got one insight, another insight to the current insights. Now we've been talking on the goal. So the insight what I got is on a daily basis, the whatever we are doing, if we can verify it ourselves, we will come to know the next destination where it is taking us. As an example, I'll tell you. Like, I am going out and I feel that place is very good. So that shows that I am having sensual thoughts because I am not able to realize that that place is just a name. It's not really existing as such. So there is a Dvaita instead of a Dvaita. So what I then need to do is to observe that. So it shows where I am heading, meaning what is the destination. Like we don't know the destination, but actually you can see the destination, where it is, where the set of karmas are picking up. The reason why I'm telling you this is I met a friend of mine who is having some family related issues due to COVID, meaning they are not from a very well-to-do family, but due to some years ago he started some business and he was doing average, and due to COVID last year and other factors like GST and other things, they are not doing that well, or rather they're not doing well at all, the organization what he and his friend started. So now there are a lot of family disputes which have started because he's not earning, and a lot of problems associated, saying that, I mean, there are a lot of verbal things happening on a daily basis. So this person broke down, didn't know what to do. So I was just looking at how the destination is made, how the destiny, what we call as destiny, is made in terms of decision making and the way we do things. So I feel that the way we are brought up with an assumption that your husband will be earning all the time, and there would be sufficient amount of money at stake, and the boy and the girl, they both when they're young are focused more on their education, career, and becoming an entrepreneur or joining an organization and working and all that, which are literally condition based. So if the condition doesn't change, then things looks very normal, very good, and the aspirations of that individual or the family would work out very well. But when the situation changes, or the condition with which it was assumed changes, that the person is not able to earn anything at all, and that person's wife don't want to go anywhere and earn, because she feels that it's her husband's job to keep them happy and get them whatever they want. Now I was looking from how selfish the whole samsara is all about, meaning when we are giving a girl and a boy for marriage, the aspect which are considered are what is the education background of that individual, and the amount he or she is earning, plus what all will come along with it, meaning site or money or apartment or car or whatever those luxuries are. Let's say somebody turns pauper for reasons not known, or it is karmic reason, and then the real fact comes into existence that the person is not at all liked. His money was liked, or her money was liked, not the person. So yesterday, looking at his state, that person's state, I was thinking that if the condition is good, very conducive, very nice, and the whatever education the children have or whatever it is, if those are going well, then the children are said to be very good. If they are not studying and they are not employed or cannot be employed or whatever it is, or they have a lacunae in their skill, then the same parent will start blaming the child whom he or she considered to be the best treasure when it was born. And the same thing holds good from the child perspective. When it becomes an adult, he thinks that his father can make a lot of money and he can enjoy, and when he finds that, or she finds that whatever desired is not happening, so it makes this person suffer and all the other persons also suffer. So that whole family, including his mother, is suffering. And every day there is real verbal abuses to a degree where you cannot even like to hear the words what are being used. So gone are the love for the husband or the whatever it is. And the child also abuses so much of the father because the father is not getting any money. So it's a very precarious situation what I was seeing at, and then this person wants me to do something to help him how to ease out from this kind of situation. Is there anything in meditation, anything in spirituality that can elevate that person's suffering? On the other side, let's say if that person, even with COVID, was doing extremely well, the business was flourishing in crores, this aspect wouldn't have even come on the surface, because they're getting what they want, they have a lot of money, they can spend, they can go wherever they want and all of that. But now that is not going to happen. So the frustration in them is making them realize that staying with this person is more of a liability than anything else. So this is the reality of our existence. So as long as we are earning, as long as the person is employed and doing well, then you get bride and you get bridegroom and all of that. But if the person were to stop earning and reside as a hermit, I don't think so anybody would like to marry that person, which is in a way very good, because he has cut out a big problem, which is what Ashwata is all about. So we can observe, it doesn't matter whether the person has done PhD or it's done whatever it is, and when the money get drained out for whatever reason, and how the children treat their parents and how the parent treats the children when the marks are not coming, and how the equation is set, meaning everybody is good as long as it is working. So if it changes even a bit, I don't think so any parent would be very excited to call his daughter as a daughter or a son as a son. And same thing is this person as a wife, and the son don't want to call his father or her husband as a husband. It's such a what I can say, huge suffering. So I was wondering, and it is true that if you have money, then it covers up everything. But at the moment you don't have money or you're not having enough, so then it doesn't make any sense to stay with that person, and rather you will try to see what can be salvaged. So whether the person can sell the property and pay off and divorce and this and that, and all of that will come into existence. Whether the person is a multimillionaire or he's just earning, it doesn't really matter. All everybody wants is the property, what was promised when the girl married, because that girl would have seen that this person has good amount of property, so it is better to marry him, and he is earning well, so he will take care of me forever. And then basically, if that aspiration and the goal what that person has kept, be it a wife or a husband and the children, it's not met, so everything changes. So today I was reflecting upon this again and looking at what's the goal that we need to set. Because if things are working properly because of karma, then no problem. But if things are not working because of karma, then you can see a different equation, because the condition is not met, and everything is condition oriented. Every relationship, as I can see, is condition oriented. So if the daughter marries a person out of her own interest, then the parents are unhappy. If the daughter is married to a person whom they like, and the daughter is unhappy, or the daughter has done some good amount of education and she's studying in the US or she's working in the US, and the boy should also be in the US, because then she doesn't want to come back, and I'm seeing that in my family itself. So they're not able to get married because, or they're not able to, my brothers, my cousin brothers, they're not able to get this girl married because she's so hell-bent upon the person should be in the US and all of that. And he or she should have more money than what she is earning. So it is pathetic actually. If we really see for what it is, there is nothing called as a relationship. It is basically a trading. So as long as you trade and you make money, it's okay. And that's what we are teaching also from the young age. And that's again what we are taught as well as we were young, that you need to study and do this and do that and then get married and earn for them and all that. So if that is working, then everything is good, absolutely fair. Then we can come to spirituality for understanding other things, because this is taken care. Let's say this itself is not taken care and you're suffering. The question comes, would that person be able to understand spirituality? In this, what I can say, in the pain, what I'm seeing in this person, can he now get into spiritual? I don't think so. He has even a small space to get into it, because he's so bogged down by the family, by the money he owes, and by the money the market owes to him, and all the organizations which were supposed to pay him is not paying him because of they are making losses, so they don't have money to pay. Whereas his employees are not there and he has to do many things. So, and now he cannot get a job also if he at all he wants to do it. So this year also the COVID is continuing. I'm looking at the how more pathetic it can go than the last year, with so much of family feud happening every day. And he's not able to sit even for 5 minutes without thinking what next to be done. Meaning either the banker calls him, or the creditor calls him, or his wife calls him asking him for money. And it's funny to see. So I think it's appropriate to see how karma can take us in a different direction and set a better goal. and do it when things are proper, rather than doing it when things are totally haywire, like what I saw in this friend of mine. In his 2 hours explanation to me, he opened up many doors for me. That wasting even 1 minute is such a disaster, because it is dependent on karma. It is not dependent on the person. No person wanted to encounter into this problem, and no person wanted to encounter into loss, and nobody aspired for a disease like COVID to come and then completely wipe out. But the ground reality is this. So how much fortunate we are, especially who is working today and getting salary, that it is karmic based, and then even though we have enough, but that quest for continuing has not gone. So we want to continue doing whatever we are doing, and we don't want to cut the tree of samsara. What an unfortunate decision making is what I was seeing. That even after watching what is happening with one of my friend, I still have a closed eyes, and I feel that it is his problem, it's not my problem. I am doing very well, I have taken care of everything and all that. It is such a foolishness, because if he can suffer like this, anybody can suffer like that. It's just a matter of time. Either health-wise that person can suffer, or wealth-wise he can suffer, or family-wise that person can suffer. But we are not ready to see the suffering. We are trying to find different ways of making that suffering covered with some chocolate, so that it gives us a very nice feeling that my son has grown up and he's earning himself, so that is settled, and next is his marriage or her marriage, and then I will do this, I will do that. So the quest for continuation, the quest for existence is so much in us that we want that good thing what we have to continue. But then when that good thing goes away and the bad thing comes in, none of us are geared to hold on to the challenge. And I really appreciate this person who is putting up with the family, putting up with issues what he's facing, and is still alive. If somebody were to be there, I think that person would have jumped from a bridge or gone and hit himself on a train or whatever it is, and ended his life, which is even more horrible. But then that's all what anybody can do in that state of depression. But then I really need to appreciate that person, that even with all of this, he is able to swim, even though he cannot swim. It's a total shark-filled water. And none of the family members, except for his mother, is able to understand his problem. And the wife and the son don't want him at all. And they are staying in mother's property, and the daughter-in-law feels that the mother shouldn't stay at all. She can go wherever she wants. What an unfortunate event. And we don't have an answer. So I couldn't give him any answer spiritually what needs to be done. So I was wondering that from all of that we've been doing, there's nothing anybody can do except for watching that person being submerged in water. So setting a goal is so important, without which it doesn't work. And that is the 15th verse. Actually, I was reflecting on this verse of 15th, that learning the Veda, when we say knowledge, it should be about this knowledge, not about anything else. So sarvasya cha aham hridi sannivishtaha mattaha smritihi jnanam apohanam cha vedaihi cha sarvehi aham eva vedyah vedanta krit vedavit eva cha aham. So this consciousness, reflected consciousness, is seated in the heart of everyone. So everyone has that reflected consciousness. Because of the universal consciousness, the person can have a memory, knowledge, and also their absence. That means if that light doesn't shine on that particular object, it turns into darkness, just like what has happened with my friend. So he is in total dark. Vedaihi cha sarvehe aham eva vedyah. In the Vedas, I am all that to be known, nothing else. So the Karma Kanda portion of the Vedas are not to be sought out at all, especially the Brahmana, which talks about rituals. That's one of the dangerous things to be done, because that leads to bondage, not to liberation. Vedanta krit vedavit eva cha aham. I am both the author of Vedanta and also knower of the Vedas. That means if you know what's consciousness, you have known everything. You don't have to know anything more than what is consciousness. Because that has to be self-revealing, that Chidabhasa has to be seen. So, if we can't see and we keep on doing whatever we are doing, when the bad time comes, I don't think so we will be in any position to handle it. Because we are so engrossed in the family life of wife and husband and children and career and this and that. And we postpone saying that I will do this after this age, I will do this, and after that age I will do that. It is such a utter foolishness. Because then we have this quest of existence, that I want to exist. It's not the consciousness wants to exist, it is the I which wants to exist. And it suffers. So, what is need to be known is only this. Any comments, or shall I continue?
So, you are talking about the ultimate goal is spirituality. If a person lives this life and then no earning, if he practices spirituality, it's very, very tough for anybody, because family and all people around you, they expect your role to be, if you are a male, earning, and now in female is also earning is there, and very difficult to manage life, right? You will be in that samsara only. That is what is the problem statement here.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah. Now the next question is, for any human being, what is that is, for maybe in Indian way, till you reach your earning, parents will take care of you, or a family, if it is a togetherness, a family is there. And when you reach that age, everybody expects you earning. If it is not, if you are spiritual, then generally what happens is people go away from their home. They will attach to some organizations where they are comfortable. It may be Ramakrishna Mission or maybe something equivalent. Because it provides that kind of environment for them. Then they are disconnected from here. Maybe for Brahmins community, there is one opportunity. They can go to Veda Patashala. So many places Veda Patashala is running. Go there and join. Young age, age of 7, 8. then you are almost like disconnected from home, because you are more of with your guru only, learning yoga. But that is not a spirituality, it is more of religious. So what other options is there? Because this is very natural that society expects. And I don't think if you sit home without doing anything, just practicing spirituality without connected with the world, that means you need food, right? I think people always they will think that this guy in emergency time not helping. Why we should give food to him? That is a very common feeling in the societies. I think that this is all happening from maybe after this British or so. Before that, all that was highly considered as okay. You should take care of that spiritual growth of in each and every family. Especially they used to support for elderly people for that. After you reach some age of 50, 60, Vanaprasthashrama kind of thing. Elderly people, they are not expected anything except some food. And that food also, because they have already earned in the young age enough property or whatever, by default their next generation should give them the food. But now the situation is totally different. So what options is available for anybody?
Yeah, so this is a bigger question, because see, now if I take Sri Lanka, there they will feed. Here there is no concept of feeding at all. So it is so dangerous ground what we are in today, meaning it is such a competitive and cutthroat that your own wife will throw you out if you are not earning. Forget about anybody else throwing you out. And it's such an unfortunate thing to happen, because the wife feels that she has to be taken care and she needs money, and she doesn't want this person without money, because that is what was promised by the father-in-law when he was asked about this son-in-law who is going to marry, that what is he earning and how confident he is to take care of the daughter and blah blah blah, and then marry. Now after these many years of marriage, it's not about divorce. She doesn't want this guy to be there at all. Give the home, give all the property papers to her and get out from the place. What an unfortunate thing. Meaning, all that we are talking about, humanity, compassion and gratitude, gratefulness, all that is gone. And they are also Brahmin family only. It's not, and this guy has learnt Vedas, he has learnt everything, and he goes to the temples, he does all kind of rituals, and he does much more than what I could imagine. And nothing of that is helping him. That's what I was looking at yesterday. Nothing, whatever he has learned for I think his father introduced him to Veda classes when he was in his school. So now nothing of that is helping him.
Generally, these people are called manege mari, urige upakari. That is what they label finally.
Yes.
He will be doing with a true devotion or spiritual. But this is what it happens. Unless you join, nowadays I have seen one place where people can do a little bit. That is RSS. Go there, they will give you food, but you have to again do some social service there.
Correct.
To the best possible extent. And money flow is not there. Absolutely no. If you have to go to somewhere, they will say how much money you want. They give bus charges. Then they will say go and stay somebody's house. And because of that brand, it works, because known houses will be plenty around and you will do it. There are so many people like that.
Yes.
But that is not a spiritual life. See, that life is social life.
Correct.
For spirituality, I don't know, is there any such system in India it exists currently in the current environment?
No, it doesn't.
Except going to Haridwar, I think there are some places where I heard through some Swamijis and all that, there are some organizations, they keep giving food, dal roti, roti dal, roti dal, only two options all the time.
Yes.
And there you can practice yours, because then they will not trouble you, they will give you that food.
Yeah, so I feel after his mother's death, he needs to do only that. Give up all this property and other things to his wife and son. and just walk away from their life forever. That's the only option.
Then walk away means in your mind also should not have family then. Say, you are walking away, but still if you remember your daughter, wife and all that, it is again you are in samsara only from a distance.
That is correct.
That means you want to come back. Disconnection means something similar to you in your mind, you have no samsara. For you, your family, other family, same. It is loka.
Yeah, so I indirectly hinted him. I couldn't directly inform him that this experience is so nice that it is teaching you that if you are with your wife and son, you will be booted out.
And one more thing, we cannot blame them also. Because the samsara, it is formed based on certain, condition. And they are within that condition. So, they didn't know that this person is going to do spiritual practice and all that. Had they not, probably they would have married or they would have been in a different mindset altogether.
No, he's not doing any spiritual practice. I think you misunderstood. He is not into spirituality. He wanted me to tell him, is there anything in spiritual what he can do to come out of this problem?
Okay.
You misunderstood.
He is showing interest to come out.
Now he is in such a water that it is literally boiling.
Yeah, but it would have been much better for him if his wife and son stood by him. Then he would have done anything, I think.
Yes.
See, now the thing is, it's like what Bhatt said, it is conditioned. These two people are not of that mentality to accept that her husband and his father is not going to earn. He says that how shameful that when I talk to my friends and you don't have any money, it looks so bad. And he says that I will earn more than what you are earning in just 1 year time, and you are fit for nothing. And that statement, this guy is not able to take it.
Yeah, my heart, when you're talking, my heart goes out to that person, whoever that is. I feel so compassionate for him. I was just wondering why that wife and son cannot support.
No, this is the normal trend, Lata. There are very few people who can.
Yeah. See, I have also seen. I have seen. My families are very big. My mother's side family, my father's side family, my husband's family. I am observing everybody. So I told you some time back, right? I don't know, some months back, I've been contemplating on it. I said, from now onwards, I'm going to have a relationship only with Brahman. All the other relationships are conditioned.
Yes.
That is right.
So this, I think, I don't know, some few months back, I told this to Vilas, I think. Yes it came to me one afternoon when I was thinking, and it suddenly came. So there's no point in having a relationship with anybody, actually.
Yep.
So then you are free. Then you are not expecting anything from anybody.
Yes.
To reach that condition, I think in today's world, you need to have sufficient money to
Yes, of
live.
course.
Then nobody will trouble.
You need to have sufficient money to live. So when I look at myself, I don't need many things. I just need some food. That's it. Then I am okay. So then in that sense, I don't have to worry about it. Health part, we don't know. Anything can happen. So that's something which is not in your hands. But as long as we have some food to eat, fine. So that is taken care. So then there's nothing to worry about. So there's no need to have any expectation. Doesn't mean that I will not stay here and I will not interact with people and all. But then in your mind, it is like that. So that's what I have fixed in my mind. And I was also you were talking about where we are heading towards to. This is also I was really contemplating how my mind thinks and what is it that I am going behind and how things fall in place according to that. So it's like what you expect or what you really wish. Superficially you say, want to be spiritual and I'm doing spiritual practice and all, but internally, what is it that what will yet happen? It's not what you think in the surface.
Correct.
That is very deceptive if you really look at it. So I've been thinking for the last 2-3 days and I was just wondering whether you were exactly whatever was there in your mind you were talking about today.
Yeah, so yesterday for 2.5 hours, I was just watching this person going from not riches, but at least he was doing well, to literally nothing. And the truth of the family came out, right? So when things are working well,
Yeah, see, only when your things are going bad, the real true character comes out.
yes,
Otherwise, it will be all nice and thing. But then, really, when you face a real issue, that's when the real nature of anybody will come out.
yes, absolutely. So I was feeling so fortunate of my wife and son who don't ask me anything. I can get a job, I can work, I can do all of that.
That is actually, Vilayas, I was thinking you are really, really fortunate.
Yeah,
It
you're
is not,
blessed.
it is not possible. That is Purva Janma Punya.
Yes. So
Yeah, see, whatever this person is undergoing is also karma.
yes, it is karma only.
So
Absolutely.
if
Yeah.
he had been in the spiritual life much earlier, then he would have been able to manage the situation, even if it happened this way.
Yes.
He would have managed it much better in his mind. Now, physically, he cannot do maybe. It will be the same. But then mentally, he would have been in another place. And then many things would have happened. He would have found some other options to do and things like that.
Yeah, that is one. And the one good thing what I can imbibe is that with all of this shouting and abuses and all that, the mother and the son are not talking anything against their daughter-in-law or the grandchild or the son, and they're just taking the insult as his condition. So that was a very good learning potential, because if I'm just reflecting upon, if somebody were to talk to me like that every day and pinpointing and showing that, look, talking nonsense and insulting and injuring either physically or mentally or whatever it is, what would be the state of my mind? Yes, I need to be very much grateful to the two beings who are serving me today for me to reach this height. But I also was wondering, oh, he has so much of patience to put up with this. Do I really have so much of patience and so much of perseverance to really take that kind of abuses from morning till evening, and again you come back and you are abused, and then you cannot sleep, and he was saying to me that it's been days and months that he has not slept. So what more pain anybody can ask for? And he's not an engaged person. He is around 53. So he cannot get a job elsewhere. He's not getting support from his family. He is going to lose his property if his wife does something and she threatens him, either police action or this action or that action, and our laws are always female dominant. So this guy is in such a mess. It cannot even be imagined. So I was trying to see lawfully anything can be done, and then the person whom I met, who also has a lot of advocates, he says that unfortunately in this aspect nobody can help. So it is better that, he was telling him, it's better that you don't, or you ensure that your wife doesn't go to police station to complain. And she wants to give a false complaint that he's been abusing her for last so many years, whereas the other way around is true. And she says that nobody can prove it, that it is I who is doing it. Now, what is the answer we can give, was my thought.
Yeah, so the answer in my mind is clear, Vilas. This is some situation which is created by God for him to look at the spiritual side and then walk that path.
Yes. That's what I
It is
felt.
something which it has been, I think, in different ways this will happen, right? Sometimes it will be that you will have a lot of abundance of things and then you get fed up of it and then you go. Or you would be put in such a situation that you have nothing and then you get disgusted and then you go to that.
Yes.
So this is I think the universe is helping him to move into this direction.
That is true. I can see that. But can he see? That's the problem. I can see that it is a nice opportunity. He can even today walk away. But he cannot. He has so much of, last few days he doesn't have so much of moha on his wife and son, but otherwise he still has. So it's very difficult or next to impossible to call it a day and say that, okay, I'm leaving, I'm going to Haridwar or wherever, or I'm not going to tell you where I am. I'll just walk away from you guys, do whatever you want. Simple. He can take a train to Haridwar or wherever it is. All that you require is some food. Whatever money you can withdraw from the bank, you do that. Or take it from your mother. Anyway, she is taking care of the home. So take some money and get lost from this place. That's the only option. Like you rightly said, Lata, that's the only option he has. Seek internal. So he's been brought to a stage that he needs to focus inside, and everywhere there is lock, meaning he can't rebuild his company, that is gone. He cannot rebuild relationship with his wife and son, that is gone. He is seeing his mother cut into pieces by both the grandson and the daughter-in-law, cannot do anything about it except for some tears he can wipe off the mother, and that's it. Even with all the money she has and she wanted to give, nothing she can do, because this daughter-in-law says that I will not prepare food for you. If you want, you get up and prepare it for yourself. This is for me and my son, and you and your son cook for yourself. And she is in her almost 80th year. So it was a real eye-opener looking at how things can happen. So I wanted to tell him, run away from this family attachment. Your mother anyway is going to die the moment she hears that her son is not there or whatever it is. So one problem resolved. So then your wife and son will stay in that home and they will eat all the money and property, etc., because then the mother is not there and the father is not traceable. Oh.
Living at that age is difficult. Over and above this. But they can't explain this with anybody, because the main problem what they are doing is there are money given to the son. So Putra Vatsalya should be some limit.
See, actually, so nobody can be trusted in this Kali Yuga. No one.
My father used to say,
children.
whatever you want, you should keep it, because earning money should be with you, but you know how to distribute. If you give to somebody, they don't know how to distribute.
Correct.
No, but she's keeping it to herself. But like I was about to tell him, I think Lata messaged me that I'm muted. In fact, I was muted. I don't know how that mute happened. Maybe I would have touched something. So the problem is like this. So I was wanting to tell him that you run away from the situation. So because there is no other way out, you go to Haridwar or wherever you want to go and settle down, and by knowing that you are no longer there, your mother is going to die for sure in few days, and then once she is gone, your wife and son will be happy with the property and the money and everything, because there is no takers, there are no person who can come and claim. That's all they want. They want the whole property and money and everything in their name. Okay, so I wanted to tell him that that's the only opportunity or option you have, because nature has provided you in such a way that you have to get out of this samsara. It has shown you there is nothing there in this samsara for you.
Correct. It is very obvious. But only
very
thing
obvious.
is whether its mind is mature enough to see that.
No, it's not.
But Vilas, for such people, I think I have seen something similar. This RSS or Ramakrishna Math kind of organizations, they support a lot. But you have to go there and work. It is not free. But
Right.
there's a
See,
huge support.
he
Yeah.
can.
In Bangalore only they can be.
Yes, see, he can go and join Mutt. In fact, few days ago, he had gone to Mutt because of his wife abusing him to the nth level, meaning you can't really hear the abuses at all. So this guy got so worked up that early in the morning he headed to Ramakrishna Ashram and went there to sit and meditate. So he called me up from there and asking me how to meditate. It's like when your cloth has taken fire, you are asking for water. You should have kept water instead of the petrol. Unfortunately, he is pouring petrol and asking for water. And that's not going to work out. So I have to help him somehow. So I'm thinking in few days how I should help this guy out.
Yeah, see, I have something similar experience. One person came to me, the similar one from my native place. He's having a lot of property, again 2 or 3 sons. Somehow he felt it's not the place for him, native place. He came to Bangalore. Then he said, can you put me somewhere? It is about 10 years back. I took him to ISKCON before joining ABB. I took him to ISKCON. Then I just introduced him. This guy is a great scholar and he wants to give a service here. Is there any opportunity? They said, okay, come. And then he was there in the first few days in that counter, giving prasadam or something. After a few days, they found that this guy is really a wonderful person. They gave him a promotion, that one room, and then some much better kind of engagement there. He was so happy. Within 10 days, he got a news from native place that you come back. He just rushed back.
That is wrong. So, that is wrong. Now you again gone and burrowed yourself into the rabbit hole.
Yeah, see, actually, my mother, though, so when we were all small, she used to say, see, once as all of you are settled, I will go to ashram. There is an ashram, there's Abhinadananda ashram, where Chimyananda Swami and all was there.
Right.
So there's one temple and one ashram is also there. Next to my house only. Some 1 kilometers, 2 kilometers. So my mother used to say that I am going to the ashram after you are all educated and settled. So after my brother is the youngest, after he got a job and he was about to go to US, he asked my mother jokingly, see, now we are all settled, aren't you not going to ashram?
No, she will not go because of the attachment towards the grandchildren and children and all that.
Yeah, that is true.
It will not happen at all. See, we all are addicted to that family life where we find happiness. So yesterday was a real eye-opener, and the amount of contemplation I've done there, I don't think so I would have contemplated so much at all in my life.
Yeah. So I see only 2 options. Either that wife and son has to be really good and support him, then he can come back to his family life properly, and then probably he'll also get out of all this mess because his mind will be more clearer then. Or else he has to leave everything and then go the spiritual life.
I think the second is the best option because the first one will never happen. If they were so supportive, they wouldn't have been abusing for the last 3-4 years, and now after COVID, they've been abusing him like crazy.
Yeah. So how maybe it's all because of his karmic.
Yeah, it is karmic only.
Right? He has to take it. Maybe he would have done something like this in his previous life, or
yeah, that is true.
Getting it back or something.
No. He from the time he got married to this girl, he is having problems and is very close to me, and he used to share all his problems, and then majority of them have been created by himself for not able to see what this girl is looking at. Meaning this girl married him because such a huge property being there. She had this idea that somehow or the other she will throw out both the parents of the boy and bring her parents and reside in this home. And that she shared some years ago. And the father died and she was very happy. She thought that this mother is also going to die out of attachment towards her husband, or she will run away somewhere out of sorrow and all that, and somebody will take her and this whole house will be hers. Unfortunately, the mother-in-law is strong and she started managing the home, which was not liked by the daughter-in-law. And she wanted her husband to make another home somewhere so that they can stay separately and this mother-in-law can stay in this home, and then once she dies they can loot the property. But unfortunately she is not dying. And she keeps on telling her that when are you going to die?
Oh my God.
So she has exactly stated what she wanted in her life and why she married this family. Intent behind marrying. Her brothers are not working and she wants to take care of her brothers, and she felt that this is the biggest place in Bangalore where her brothers can thrive along with her and her son. So she says, give the property and go wherever you want. And the son cannot do anything because he is not earning. So his story made me feel compassionate, and also made me feel compassionate about those two beings also who are doing this, because they are adding more bad karma to get into a bad existence that is there. But now if I were to attach something to as a friend, then I see him in one light. If I just take him as a being in the samsara, then he would have done this to the same beings who were earlier like that, and then he's getting back what he's doing. And another way is that these events are teaching him that there is nothing in this samsara which can give benefit. It's only problems. You are not seeing the problem because your punya phala is camouflaging it. The moment the papa phala starts, everything comes out. The original.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows his wife, that being would have promised him that that being will push him to this path.
Yes.
We don't know. We never know. We cannot
Yes.
comment on anybody.
Yes, so we cannot comment. See, now outside if we see, it looks very wild and fury, but in a way this being is assisting this fellow to get out of the samsara.
Correct. So you never know. Maybe that was the problem.
Yes, exactly.
So we can't comment.
Yes, absolutely. So I was wondering what to do spiritually, and basically feeling unhappy about that his wife and son is not going to help because they are removing his moha, honestly.
Yeah, correct.
And I don't think so this is any better opportunity to remove anybody's moha.
Right. He is ripe for moving into spiritual path.
Yes. So instead of wasting any further time, he should just give up all his liking for property and family and mother and etc. Become a sannyasi and get out of the system. And that's all what he can do.
Yeah, and other people will say something. Okay, he ran away, and
That is okay.
manage. That's fine.
That's fine.
That is fine.
That is fine. So it is, I was reflecting back when I was coming back from driving back home, that one thing if I take as a friend, then I will get anger on these two people because I know them very dearly from the time he has married. And on the other side, if I see that these two beings are helping him to get out of samsara, what a lucky guy. It's a real lucky fellow. Because no wife will say that get out of this home. So he's most luckiest, at least from spiritual angle. He can
actually, if he happens to go to the spiritual path and then reach some heights in the spiritual thing, then he will look back and then feel, okay, this is the greatest blessing he has ever got. All these insults, whatever he is getting now.
Yeah, absolutely. See, I feel these two beings, that is his wife and her son, who are also having this mental ailments, are helping him to get out of this samsara, which I think he can appreciate once he gets released from the bondage.
Yeah, till that time it's very difficult, yes.
He can't see. See, presently when I was looking at him, he cannot see anything. He is so much into moha. I mean, slowly it is dipping away because his son has said something to him 2 days ago, and that is biting him, showing him that there is nothing called as son. And there is nothing called as love in this world, and wife way and all that is not real. It's all condition based. And as soon the condition is changed.
But Vilas, generally the other person will negatively respond if you are not right. How is he? Is he a very nice, soft-speaking, good?
Very soft-speaking. Very soft-speaking. He doesn't.
Generally, then doesn't happen. Society will not throw you out if that is so. You don't have to do anything, but they will accommodate you.
No. See, the society, in the sense that this lady wants the money. That's all.
Maybe my feeling. See, that lady is giving him some instructions to throw away his mother and all that. He's not doing that.
No, that is correct. She doesn't want that mother to be there.
Yes, and finally this guy is a target.
Yes, so he is the target.
Mother-in-law is strong there. Mother-in-law is very strong.
Mother-in-law is strong because it is her home, and she is not able to tell her son that you get lost with your son. With your family, because she requires somebody to take care of her.
Correct.
Since she is sick, since she is aged, she wants her son.
And his mother can always give that property to him if daughter-in-law is creating problem.
Yes.
I'm talking about a solution from outside of this what you call spiritual space. Just these are all something related to financial arrangement.
No.
Mother can always give to son, right? If it is not inherited property.
No,
inherited means naturally it will go to son as well as next generation.
No, that's correct. So the thing is like this. She is a mental psych person. So she speaks at one time and she speaks another time.
You can't do anything with psycho.
Yes, and she has.
You cannot have any relations with them. It is just they are your family. That's it.
Yes, so she is a schizophrenia person. And she doesn't want to go for any rehabilitation, or she doesn't want to go to a psychiatrist and all that. And she had informed this guy before marriage that I act mad sometimes.
Oh.
And yet he married her. So that you just think,
He has done a great thing, service.
He has done a great service. He thought that let me make things good for her with compassion. So it's very complicated to say what he should do.
Actually, treatment is required for her, not for him.
I know the treatment is.
And he likes a family, he wants family. If he runs away, what spiritual growth he will achieve? Nothing.
No, there is no other option. But see, if he doesn't run away, then what he will do? Every day he is getting abuses. She says that where is the money? How come you came back home without money?
Yes.
Now what does he do? So he started taking money from his mother and giving, and she says that I don't want to touch your mother's money till she's alive. After that, I'll touch.
Ah.
Otherwise, send her out.
Okay, if he goes away, how they will live the remaining two?
What?
If he goes away, where is the wealth for them to manage their life?
The house is there, right?
Rental, huh?
No. Own property, no.
No, I'm not talking about. You need an income for your food.
They are getting rent. So there are a lot of, they have given shops. So from that.
That is the problem now.
Yes.
Everything is available for them. This guy is waste. Okay.
So she wants to be the possessor of all the money, of all the rent and all the property, whatever is there. Simple.
Yeah, see, actually everything is there for them to live happily.
But she doesn't want to lead.
Problem is there, because they have enough money, the problem started. If they don't have money, they would have been in normal way. Money has created a problem, all this. So much of wealth should not be there with the wrong people.
Yes.
Especially that lady.
And she said very clearly, the reason why I got married is that you have 100 feet sight. What does he do?
Yeah, so I think the whole day has gone in discussing his problem, and we have found some solutions also suggested.
I started this because of the 15th chapter is all about that. That cuts that samsara.
Yes. Yeah, Vilas, it is 9:30. I forgot.
Yes.
Somebody is waiting.
Okay, we will then meet on Monday. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Private one.
Okay.
Private one.